So, Sweden owned a slave colony in the Caribbean for a century. Saint Barthélemy, aka Gustavia. Definitely up there among the worst things the Swedes have ever done. The colony was bought from the French, together with a tropical island's population of 750. Half were slaves, the rest a mix of colored English and Frenchmen. In law, the place was divided into a three-tier system of enslaved blacks, freed blacks, and whites. A source of ethnic tension that would frequently flare up in the form of neighborhood-sized fistfights. Resource-wise, the area produced fish, cotton, sugar, cocoa, tobacco, and fruit. Employment for the slaves. The population, even though minor and frequented by natural disasters, would end up doubling by the end of the Swedish reign, together with the number of slaves, 1,283 of whom were imported through trade. The number of Swedes on the island, on the other hand, never reached above 4%. There were some, particularly in Finland, who would have wanted to move there, but the government actually discouraged immigration because there was not much on the island to live off of. Indeed, the soil did not generate much profit, even when it came to cash crops. Thus, the main concern quickly became the establishment of a free port, Gustavia, and it would indeed become a somewhat popular harbor. The Swedish West India Company had its HQ there, and by the end of the 1700s, 1,300 ships visited the island annually, which then attracted pirates, but they were already gone by the 1800s, and by 1812 the island's trade peaked, with 20% of US exports being routed via the island. But during the same year, the parliament felt like the chartered company model was not effective enough, so the colony was given to the king to hold as his own private property. Now, the arrangement wasn't quite Belgium style though. The island actually remained a partial democracy, and even saw the coloreds get the right to vote in 1833. But in 1840, the parliament reacquired the island from the king. The island had actually been bleeding quite a lot of money starting from the 1830s because the Brits had opened several rivaling ports in the region, so a change in CEO was very much in order. And in 1847, the parliament finally abolished slavery on the island. That's actually 1 year earlier than France, but several decades later than the UK. Not sure if that's a good look. And well, the liberation of slaves didn't really improve the economic situation, so the island was sold back to France in 1877. Approved by the local parliament, 351 in favor, 1 against. I think they're happy not being Swedes.